Hello, I am live. I just bought this new light for your phone, guys, and I'm actually digging it. I don't know. I have to mess around with it. I don't know. I might look kind of crazy. Ah, I don't know. West Leo. Yo, I can't stand like when you wear glasses. We got to deal with this reflective.
Hello.
Hey, welcome, welcome,
Thank you.
welcome to the beautiful space.
Okay.
These people are probably like, why am I always outside?
So who are you talking about?
I'm just
Your
being.
neighbors?
You said what?
Your neighbors?
No, I said like people watching.
Oh, because you an outdoor baby.
I'm an outdoor child of God.
Amen to that one.
All right. Well,
Yeah. This
let's.
one little this one little one is the tiniest lock that I have. And
He's so. He's just
he just want a limp wrist there.
hanging with it. She's like,
Tuck him away. That's what I usually do. Tuck tuck. It's not long enough to fit into like the ponytail, so I just tuck it.
no, I feel it. I feel it. Um. All right. Well, I'm ready to jump right into it. Let's say our prayer.
We're gonna introduce.
Oh,
Welcome to anybody that's watching the live or the replay. We're doing another Bible study, spiritual Bible
yeah.
study, spiritual pull drive by real quick with the word, what the word gotta say. And it's Riah, and it's Leo. And
Yeah.
today we're getting into the book of Genesis, chapter 12. Pretty sure we're in. And so
Yeah.
let me pull up my Bible. I've been looking at some other things, so I have to go to Genesis real quick. Chapter 12. Can you believe that we're already in chapter 12, though? I
That
mean,
time's flying on here.
yeah, for real.
For real.
We're doing a real good job.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, let's say our prayer real quick since we've been in routine to say a prayer at the beginning of our videos. Um, so, Divine Mother and Father, Spirit Guides, God, Creator, um, I ask that you kind of give us the protection, give us the guidance, and the knowledge of what we need to know in this season. Give us strength for when we are at hard times with ourselves and our surroundings. Um, and I ask that you give us some knowledge right now in this moment of this Bible study so that we may present a message that resonates with other people on a deep level. Anything you would like to add, Leo?
Lord, I just pray that you continue to bless us, give us favor, and show us humility. Show us grace and kindness as we learn to use our humility, as we lean away from our egos and really tap into your consciousness, your energetic field, the collective of who you are. Lord, I thank you. I thank you in this season, in this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Sorry, I got a little distracted. Let me see some. Wait. Okay. I guess it just got a little distracting.
I literally, this tripod, I look legit like I'm like a news anchor person. Like the way this is set up, y'all, people are like, what's she doing? What's she about?
She said in 3, 2, 1. Hello. Where you at, Phoenix? Hello, Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome to another live stream.
Girl, maybe we should have pinned my city. No, I'm just playing. It's on Instagram already.
It's okay. I'll throw myself out there too. You know, I'm in Racine, Wisconsin, so we like at two opposite
We
sides of the United States.
Yeah, but
That's a distance.
I was there a couple years ago. That was life.
It's not life.
The life. Oh my god. Oh, let's not even open that door right now. That'd be a long one.
Yeah.
He got that type of time. Oh my god.
Okay. So before we start, I do want to quickly say, because I've been looking at this app for a while, so it looks like one of the verses in this chapter I've already highlighted. So this will be interesting. Maybe something will come up for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's hope so. All right. Let me not stand so close. Okay. So the call of Abraham. No, the call of Abram. This is Genesis chapter 12. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land."
Wait.
What?
I don't remember what happened in the last chapter.
Oh, there were a lot of generations that was getting listed, and then they were talking about all the different clans. Then we talked about how people were dying earlier. This was one of the youngest age we've seen, which I think was like 70 years old. Yeah, that somebody passed. And that's like our average age out here nowadays.
Okay.
A bunch of generations and a lot of names was listed in that chapter.
Okay, so a bunch more generations passed. Now we with Abram.
Mm-hmm.
So before we continue, I did quickly hear Abram. So there's a guy that I watch. His name is Myron Golden. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's like a business / finance coach / biblical coach. Like he talks a lot about how the Bible and business kind of collaborates, how the Bible has a lot of principles to help you have a successful business. And he's one of the people, he studied, I don't know if it was Hebrew or if it was a different language, but he studied the original language of, I think it was Hebrew, the original language of the Bible. And so he's where I got that idea from, where I was talking about yesterday, where, some of the words in Hebrew aren't able to be translated into English.
Yeah.
And so when he talks about Abram, because he talks about Abram a lot, he says, like, this is what I was talking about before when I was saying probably those names, all those names that were mentioned, they probably have meaning, but just don't know what they mean. So he says Abram's name means the highest father. That's the meaning of his name. So I just thought I would throw that in there really quick. You good?
Yeah, sorry. It's just, I'm outside. Gotta calm down. It's nature. The crawly things.
Yeah.
The flat.
all the crawly things.
Yeah. But sorry, what was the definition? Like, what was the meaning of Abram?
Abram's supposed to mean the highest father.
Oh, okay. And they did just talk about, remember that line that was in the last chapter?
The last line?
Remember,
The days of...
it was a line that was like, he was the first man who walked with the Lord, or was the same something of the Lord. Do you remember that?
Oh,
That's what that reminded me of when you said that.
I think that was, oh, yeah, that was, okay, so right here. When Nahor had lived to 29 years and fathered Terah, and Nahor lived after he fathered Terah 119 years and had other sons. When Terah had lived to 70, wait, that's not it. I do know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what verse it was
Yeah,
where
I know.
it said that.
And I really did just skim this so quickly. But yeah, that's basically what it said though. That he had walked.
It does talk about Abram at the end of the last chapter though, but here it talks about him like, so it says
Oh,
that
I got
it's
you.
talking about Terah.
I
Huh?
found it.
What verse
It was
was it?
it was 10 verse 9, but it's actually talking about um it said, what's the whole sentence? The
Oh, he
sons
was a
of,
mighty hunter before the Lord.
yeah, he's an idea. Well, that was a little a
Okay.
long shot.
Yeah, so that's something else.
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah. But it does talk about Abram in the last chapter. Like, what is this? And Abram and Nor took wives. This is verse 29, chapter 11. The names of Abram's wives was Sarai, and the names of Nor's wife was Milcah, um, the daughters of Haran, the father of Milcah and Iscah, are Sarai. Now Sarai was barren; she had no children. Oh yeah, remember we were talking about that.
Yeah.
So it talks about Abram's wife. Oh, wait. So oh, okay. So this is talking about Abram's wife, Sarai. Now, and Sarai, Abram's wife, was barren, which is that's what's interesting with what um what's his name, Myron. What he was talking about is his name is the highest father, Abram, but his wife is barren, so he can't even have kids.
Mm, dang.
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah.
Well, I think I'm ready to get into it, girl.
All
I'm
right.
excited. So, the title of this one is The Call of Abram. Um, and this one, yeah. So now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. You know,
Oh, okay.
this is some good blessing all the way around. I like this.
Wait.
Oh,
I want to go back really quick. I know I just read that little part about his wife being barren, but I want to read just the last two verses really quick in
okay.
chapter 11 to get some context of how we got to them blessings, right?
Yeah.
So, chapter 11, verse 31 and 32, it says, Terah took Abram, his son. No, okay. So, Terah is Abram's father. Okay. So, Terah took Abram, his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, um, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth together. No. Don't do that. And they went forth together from your of the Chaldeans to go into the land of Canaan. And when they came from Haran, they settled there. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Okay, so context: Terah took all his family, including Abram and his people, and they went to Canaan, and in Canaan there must have been a small town named Haran, and that's where they settled. And so now this is where the Lord is talking to Abram and giving him this blessings. So he's telling him to leave this country now that his father just brought him to.
Okay.
So he says, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you." So, which is also interesting too, because he's not telling him directly where to go. He's just telling him to go, and I'll show you the way.
Yeah, see? I like that whole analogy though. Like, you know, sometimes you just gotta trust that, the path that you walk is gonna be the right one if your heart is in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a ricochet of something I was speaking of earlier. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Or reflecting off of.
Yeah. It's like that deeper. It's all like something I've been thinking about for a few weeks too, where it's like, a deeper level of trust. The Spirit's calling you, and
Yeah.
you don't have the vision, you don't have the way, but you just gotta follow the voice.
Everything will align once you start walking that path. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to know the answers, just know that, it's gonna get handled.
These are the promises of the Lord. Yeah.
I like this. Oh, I'm excited because I love this chapter 12 too. The first paragraph was lit, okay?
Yeah.
God ain't cursing nobody right now. He blessing people.
I mean, it's been a long time coming after all them generational curses we just passed. Ooh, that's a lot of generations.
For real. Um, okay, so he just told him, if anybody, what do you say? I'm gonna read the last sentence. I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So Abraham went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram, bless you, bless you. Abram, bless you.
Excuse me.
Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people that they had acquired in Haran, they sent out to go to the land of Canaan. When they came to the land of Canaan, Abram passed through the land to the place at Shechem, to the oak of Moreh. At that time, the Canaanites were in the land. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offspring I will give this land." So he built there an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. From there he moved to the hills, to the hill country on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord, and Abram journeyed on, still going towards Negev. Okay, when he's talking about an altar, is he literally talking about like an altar, or are they talking about like a building, an altar? Like,
Um,
what's he gonna do at this altar? Because I feel like they wasn't doing any preaching at this time, unless
I think an
they.
altar. Let me see.
Oh, it could be just like a little altar, like to for people to come by maybe and speak to.
Yeah, I think an altar was kind of simple back then, so it was probably just like a platform or something like that.
Oh, and then they could come back and visit that. Okay.
Wait, where did that say again?
And I'm also confused too, real quick. To your offspring, I will give you this land. I thought the land was for everybody. So it's was like, how are you giving him land? I thought everybody that hits the earth, like, that's everybody's land.
So remember the promise that the Lord had gave Abram was to leave the land that he went to with his father, to leave that with his wife and sounds like his brother's son, and he was going to give him new land, new blessings, so that he can bless other people. And so this must be the new land that the Lord is saying, okay, you can rule this land. This space is your domain type thing. That's what I'm understanding.
And then, okay. In my head, it popped up too. Like, I wonder, since he, like, literally, like, gifted it to him, speaking that to him, like, that means, like, if anything happens, like, he'll make sure everything's taken care of, probably, too. Like, give him that protection and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was interesting to me is the names of so with Bethel on the west and I on the east. I can't lie. You said I, but I just read that as AI, which I'm like, okay.
God, that's hilarious. Stop saying that.
We talk about artificial intelligence in the Bible already.
That is interesting. Literally. It really does, guys.
Yeah. I'm sure that's not what that means, but it's like, you
like,
connect that. You say what?
Oh, when I was reading it, I was like, in AI, like on the East, like, why would they even make an abbreviation like that?
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
But I'm sure that's not abbreviation. That's probably just the name of it. But it's like, you see AI, and then compared to our world today.
Nah, we need to question this, because ain't no way. Like, I'm not like, the way that stuff linked off, that was just recent. Well, it's not that it's been going on, but it's more so it just started trending just recently, this AI stuff.
Well, and I think of like, okay, well, if hey, this is a name, this is a word that's in the Bible, where did that how does that connect to what they're calling AI now? Because I just think that everything connects some way. Everything has significance in some way. It's no such thing as a coincidence, So what was the purpose of them naming it AI other than artificial intelligence? Yeah. There must be a deeper meaning, right?
Yeah.
Those are the thoughts that come to my head.
Or maybe there's a deeper meaning in the artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
there's always a question everything. You've been lied to.
And we just make it so okay nowadays. It's like, yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah, literally accepting all this, new things, and it's crazy. I'm trying to think what other crazy things been happening. Oh, that little bot that they have, that face recognition where it would, like, basically somebody can present themselves as whoever they want, even like a famous person. Like, I remember that was kind of, they were talking about that a while ago.
Like cloning?
Yeah, it was like this software online, and it was like being broadcasted, and they were like, yeah, you can do this and that. And everybody's like, oh my God, that could be all dangerous and stuff.
I don't want to start talking about conspiracies. Because I was going to say, I haven't heard that, but I've heard something else. I don't know if this is the right place to talk about that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep it to myself right now.
Okay.
I'll tell you later,
though. Dang, I do not know where I was at.
So we're on verse 10, Abram and Sarai in Egypt.
Okay. Now there was a famine. Now there was a famine. Oh my God, famine. in the land. So Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. When he was about to enter Egypt, he said to Sarai his wife, I know that you are a woman, beautiful in appearance, and when the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife. Then they will kill me, but they will let you live. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, but that was so brutal indeed. This That man was talking about his wife. Am I not correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, he's telling his wife that what's going to happen when they go to Egypt.
He's making them people look like dogs. That's
Well, I don't know. We haven't gotten too deep into Egypt yet, but just off of my knowing, Egypt did get kind of corrupt.
yeah. That's some scary stuff, boy. All right. Okay. Say you are my sister, that it may go well with me because of you, and that my life may be spared for your sake. When Abraham entered Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. And when the princes of Pharaoh saw her, did I say that right? Pharaoh?
Mm-hmm.
Saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And for her sake he dealt well with Abram. And he had sheep, oxen, male donkeys, male servants, female donkeys, and camels.
Mm.
I just want to say that that is so insane. Like, he just claimed this person, and they had to make up a whole lie just to spare her husband's life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they just felt like they were on a higher scale and higher tier, and they could just claim, people as they please, or it looks like women. They could just.
Well, and I think, I'm pretty sure Egyptians did kind of think that way because back in that time, they were a little more advanced than everyone else for whatever reason.
Maybe with the knowledge of something.
Yeah, they did have some kind of knowledge.
Yeah. Okay.
Or if it was knowledge, but they also did have, like you see, they had some like wealth. Like he's saying, and for her sake, he dealt with Abram, and he had sheep, oxen, male donkeys, male servants, female donkeys, and camels. So they have all these resources that, like Abram said, his land was famine. They didn't have anything, but Egypt has a lot of resources.
Gotcha. Sorry, I got a little distracted because I was trying to send a wave. And I don't know how that works. That is interesting though. Hey. But I guess I don't. What comes to my head when I'm thinking of like Egyptians is them like talking to the animals with the pictures. Like they always have the
Oh,
picture sketched in the bricking, and it's
like
always
how
the dude.
they kept track of their history.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's always associated with like these animals, and it was almost like like they could communicate or something like crazy.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know, but let's continue. I can't lie, girl. I'm not keeping track of the numbers, so I keep losing where I'm at.
Uh, we're on verse 17. I got you, girl.
Okay. But the Lord afflicted Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. So Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say she was my sister, so that I took her for my wife? Now, then, here is your wife. Take her and go. And Pharaoh gave men orders concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. Ooh, that's deep. They kicked them man out.
Well,
I'm
but
surprised they
he
spared
was
his life.
protected. That's what I heard. You know, they told him that lie because they was afraid that if he tells them the truth, they see that his wife is so beautiful, and the Pharaoh's like, well, I want her. I don't care if that's her man or not. So if that's her man, I'm gonna slice and dice him. You
Right.
know. But then they told that lie, and he's like, well, if that's not her man, I'm gonna take her as my own wife. But then, as he took her as the Pharaoh took Abram's wife as his own, and Abram got everything that they needed. You know, that was the Lord causing affliction on Pharaoh. Like, oh well, now you got stuff going on. This ain't right. You can't have her. You know,
Ooh,
so that was like protection. That was literally them being protected by the Lord.
that's crazy.
And instead of, Pharaoh could have killed both of them in that instance when he found out, but instead he just sent them away with the things that they got.
Okay. Yeah, I had to reread that. I got kind of confused, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he just spared her for no reason, basically. It was just like, or spared him and was like, just go. Like, no.
Yeah.
Girl, I forgot what I had read. That's hilarious. Well, I'm glad that they was protected because that was deep, man.
Yeah.
That could have went sideways so fast.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I do want to go back up though, really quick before we go on to the next chapter and the beginning where the Lord is saying to Abram, go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you, and I'll make of you a great nation, and I'll bless you and make your name great, so you will be a blessing. And I think it's really interesting because, he's following the Lord's word. He's like, like we said, his name Abram means the highest father or something like that. And he's not able to have children. So the reason why he probably would want to go is because, names back then. Well, this is what Myron Golden says, right? So he says names back then are like how we treat nicknames now,
Oh,
and how it's like we kind of give nicknames. Like I say, I call myself Leo because to me, Leo represents strength and power and courage and boldness, and that's not only my zodiac sign, but that's who I embody as a coach. And so, like for Abram, his name being highest father, and he's not able to have children. That's kind of like embarrassing, He's out here. Everybody's like, "Hey, that's the highest father that don't got no kids," and he's 70 some years old, and he can't have kids because his wife is barren. And so when the Lord's like, "Yeah, you go onto a new land," he's like, "Bet, shoot, I'm gonna be a blessing for a bunch of people. Let's go."
I
And he don't have the full vision. They don't have the full vision. They just go off a whim, right? And off that whim, what did it say? The Lord, what did it say?
what the? I had a random thought too.
What's up?
I just the fact like they couldn't bear children. They're using that word barren, but it got me thinking about the herbs. Like because there's herbs that where people have a very hard time conceiving, and they probably been trying for a long time, and they take like some of these herbs that I don't know offhand, but it like helps them to kind of make them like fertile. It helps
Mm-hmm.
them to make them fertile, and they're able to conceive and have a baby. So I'm just like, I just don't know why back in the day, like why is there somebody that's having these issues if there shouldn't even be any like diseases and stuff like that, like
Yeah,
at least for the most part, like because of the foods and how everybody is and just the energy and stuff like that, like isn't that weird that somebody can't, and it seemed like there's not a lot of people, but it almost seemed like too, I mean, I don't know. They're just saying there's just one lady
it's
who,
just this one lady
yeah.
that's barren.
So I
Yeah.
wonder if there's some symbolism right there talking about that she's not like, maybe they're intentionally doing that. Like, I don't know.
Well, I could believe that. Lord has a reason for everything.
Yeah.
You know.
I just
I
feel like,
think we probably would find out as we continue reading about Abram too.
yeah.
But
All right, we're ready to dive into 13.
yeah, I think I was just gonna say, I was just gonna make a point off of, how he was brought to this land. Make that point one more time, that he was brought to this land, and he was gifted this land, and he was also saved out of Egypt. Like how he didn't have the vision, but literally the Lord's already keeping his promises for him within the same chapter.
As he should keep them promises.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready though.
Okay.
Let's get into 13.
Abram and Lot separate. I find it funny the words here sometimes just don't really be making sense. Like Lot separate.
I think they're separate. Like
Separate.
Abram and Lot separate.
All right.
Like they got separated.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna just forget about the 10 seconds that just happened. So. Oh my god. Okay. Whew. So Abram went up from Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the Negeb, probably. Now Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold, and he journeyed on from the Negeb as far as Bethel to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai. Or
Wait,
I,
okay,
my
I
bad.
had to stop one more time though,
No, I
because
said AI.
I mean it's easier to say than I, right?
Oh my
A, maybe that's it. A.
I. Let me. Okay, come on.
But I just wanted to make this point one more time because it's like the emphasis, right? Now Abram was very rich in livestock and silver and gold. Literally, they went and got everything that they needed for that barren land
Yeah.
and was saved. It was saved.
Yeah. He wealthy. He eating good.
It's like they went in on Pharaoh and caught the what they say, that caught the stain on Pharaoh real quick.
And then went out. Set it off a little bit.
For real.
And then was saved in the end.
For real.
That's so crazy.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think you're on verse 4.
Yeah. To the place where he had made an altar at the first. And there Abram called upon the name of the Lord. And Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, so that the land could not support both of them dwelling together, for their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdsmen and Abram's livestock, and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. At that time, the Canaanites and the Perizzites, try not to say parasites, guys.
I know, right?
We're
We're
dwelling in the land.
Paris.
That's a whole other topic. Shoot. Um, then Abram said to the Lot, "Let there be no strife between you and me, and between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, for we are kinsmen. It's not the whole land before you. Separate yourself from me. If you take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if you take the right hand, then I will go to the left." And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw that Jordan Valley was well watered everywhere, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt in the direction of Zor. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself all the Jordan Valley, and Lot journeyed east. Thus they separated from each other. Abram settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the valley and moved his tent as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were kicked, great sinners against the Lord. Anything?
Wait, now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. What happened? I'm
I'm
confused.
confused after they started bringing up like this, like another event. It seemed like this was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, and it seemed like they went in talking about that. Like, having a hard time processing, and I just read it.
I'm going to reread it. It says, to the place where he had made an altar. I'm reading from 4. So to the place where he had made an altar at the first, and there Abram called upon the Lord, the name of the Lord. And Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, so that the Lord could not support both of them dwelling together. For their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together, and there was strife between the herdsmen. Oh, okay. Abraham's livestock and herdsmen of Lot's livestock. At that time, the Canaanites and the Perizzites were dwelling in the land. Okay. Oh, okay. So, okay. This is what I had missed. So they had received so much from Egypt that it was able to overfill Abram and Lot to the point where they couldn't work together no more. They had so much abundance that they was clashing heads.
Oh,
So they had to separate to keep the peace.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And it says, then Abram said to Lot, let there be no strife between you and me, and between your herdsmen and my herdsmen, for we are kinsmen. Is not the whole land before you? Separate yourself from me. If you take the left hand, then I'll go right. If you take the right hand, then I'll go left. And Lot lifted up his eyes and saw the Jordan Valley, as well watered everywhere, and like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, in the direction of Zoar. Okay, so
I
yeah,
just want
so
to say,
the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm assuming this is because I don't think we really talked about this yet. So this must be an event that's coming to an event to come. I don't know why they brought it up ahead of time,
that is
but
weird.
it must be coming up pretty soon. That's what I would assume.
Okay. Um,
So before the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, the land of Zor must have been really beautiful. It must have been very peaceful and thriving, lively land. And so Lot chose to go to the Jordan Valley, and Lot journeyed east. Thus they separated from each other. Abram settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled among the cities of the valley and moved his tents as far as Sodom. Now the men of Sodom were wicked, great sinners against the Lord. So, okay. So Lot went into, okay. So where Lot had settled, that land must have been connected to Sodom, which that place, which is interesting because what Lot saw was lively and luscious land, beautiful land,
mm-hmm.
and often, but this is in a valley, you know. Don't they say ain't no valley low enough? I don't know.
That's hilarious,
I just
girl.
thought of that real quick. So
When I
valleys is low,
listen,
right?
when I heard of Valley, girl, I started thinking about like Paradise Valley, and out here is like a really nice place, like of wealth.
Oh, okay.
But you heard the song.
Well, and I'm just trying to think like, okay, so a valley is a low place. And so it's a beautiful place, but then off in the corner somewhere in the darkness, there's wickedness off connected to this valley.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Sodom is. So that's where Lot moved all. He didn't see the wickedness, he saw the beauty of it. And so he moved all of his people and all his things there, and he ran into this wickedness. Now we have to see what happens from this point.
Interesting. I just wanted to quickly say too was that when I started thinking about like they were clashing heads, I wonder like was somebody kind of getting into greed, because you know how money changes people.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of, because I'm just like back in them days, like what could they have had a big disagreement about?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that would have just led to them like, you know what, you need to go over there and then I'm gonna stay over here. Like
Yeah.
that's
Well, and I would imagine it was probably like they had so much stuff together. It's like, this is mine. No, that's mine. No, this is mine. Like you said, greed.
right.
So it's like, yeah, let me just keep my things over here. You keep your things over there. That way we don't have to argue.
It's funny because as soon as gold and silver is mentioned, which I think this is the first time, all of a sudden it's like conflict. Because if it were just
Mm-hmm.
like the produce and stuff and everybody had an abundance of that, I doubt they would be fighting over it, but you don't know. But for the most part, I don't think they would be fighting over it if everybody got everything they need when it comes to food and shelter and water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you just do that?
I'm just throwing some symbolism out there.
Oh, okay.
It's these numbers that keep popping up for me. It's these numbers. So I'm just throwing, because they keep coming at me, I'm throwing them back.
Oh, okay. All right. Um,
So we're at
thank
14.
you, ma'am. The Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land that you see, I will give you and to your offspring forever. I will make your offspring as the dust of earth, so that if one can count the dust of the earth, your offspring also can be counted. Arise, walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I will.
Wait. Hold on.
No. You
I
want
will
to stop at
make your
the
offspring as the dust of the earth, so that if one can count the dust of the earth, your offspring can also be counted. So you can't count the dust on the earth. So he got a lot of kids coming.
Oh,
That's what it sounds like to
wow.
me.
That's interesting.
It also sounds like the Lord favors Abram over Lot, where Lot would go where there's wickedness and Abram's still protected. So Lot must have been the one causing problems.
Mm. I think he's the one low key that might be creating that wickedness. Like, I don't know. Like, what if he's the one that actually brought it over
He brought
there?
the wickedness to Sodom.
Yeah, with him, and they're just saying like, now he's gonna be running this people, and he might start clashing heads with his community now,
Yeah,
since he's not clashing with the other dude no more.
interesting.
Yeah. All right.
So
Arise.
17.
Yep. Arise, walk through the length and breadth, the breadth, the breadth, the breadth of the land, for I will give it to you. So Abram moved his tent. Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta reread that.
Thank
Arise, walk through the length and the breadth of the land, for I will give it to you. So Abram moved his tent and came and settled by the oaks of Mamre, which are the Hebron, and there he built an altar to the Lord.
I think an altar might be just as like what we think an altar is today, which is like a little table with, some things that you would use. Like to me, when I'm thinking of creating an altar, I have my table, I have a cloth that I lay down, and then, I might have like some incense or a candle burning,
Mm-hmm.
and I might have like a physical symbolism, like, usually I would use a stone, like a crystal or something.
Yeah.
I think that might be the same thing. If not that, something pretty similar. If it wasn't like a crystal that they use, it was some kind of, maybe they used to kill sheep or animals back then. So maybe they had some kind of a sacrifice on the altar.
Oh, wow.
Hmm. Like I think an altar is just a space dedicated to the Lord. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So whether that was
Yeah,
a platform or a table or whatever it was.
girl, you brought the whole animal in my head. I was just thinking like some stuff from nature, and then I was thinking like some water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Probably all that.
yeah. Okay. Ooh. But no, you're right because they do put a lot of food on the altars.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Okay. Yeah. I think that's all we got time for because I think it'll cut off if I try to start another one.
Yeah,
So
I think we're pushing close to it. So that was interesting. Real
yeah.
interesting. So Abram's got some favor here, which is interesting too. Might I add, going back to Abram and Lot, his nephew, how they got into that argument, because Lot would literally have nothing if it was not for Abram. Because Abram's the one that went into Egypt with his wife, almost sacrificed both their lives to get all them riches that they had.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's crazy that Lot would be like, going back and forth with him about something he wouldn't even have without him, you know.
Girl, I just got creeped out.
Are you okay?
It's just, it's I don't,
You,
not even that windy, but the gate at the dog park kind of like was moving by itself.
oh.
It's locked, but you know how that little lock will make a noise,
Yeah.
but it's not even like windy, so that's just odd. Like
Oh.
you can feel it, but it's not like none the bushes aren't moving or nothing like that. So I just found that odd that that was being weird. But anywho, share that
Well, let's pray the
thought with you.
spirit away. Let's pray the spirit away. We got nothing but good spirits around here, Mariah. There ain't
That's what I was
nothing to
gonna
be
say.
scared of.
That it's a good, yeah, it's good. It's good energy. So I ain't worried about it.
Don't brush your shoulder off.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to start the
Yes,
prayer?
ma'am.
Okay. So, Divine Father, Mother, thank you so much for this word today. Um, thank you for providing us with more understanding of Abram and the blessings that he was granted in his life, and for him and his children, and his children's children. Thank you for this environment and hosting this environment for us all to learn and grow and enrich ourselves together within you, as you speak to the body of who you are, your people. That's all I can think of right now.
Okay. I'll add something real quick. I feel like during these times that we're going through, like whether financial hardship or just like negativity that's on the news and in the world today, I just ask that you guide everybody, protect everybody, and give them like strength and courage to kind of not live in that state of mind, but try to persevere and you know see a blessing in disguise and continue to stay uplifted and motivated to kind of do better every day. So in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right.
All
This
right.
has been a very, very awesome live.
Yeah, it was good.
The energy today feels a whole lot better than yesterday. I have to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
yesterday it was kind of heavy. It's been kind of heavy the last couple chapters with all the murder and death and
Yeah, it has.
generations that
And
had not much significance.
in the list of generations and generations, like the names
Yes.
getting crazy.
It's just very repetitive.
Yeah. So it
So,
was nice to actually like read it and dissect some stuff. Like,
mm-hmm,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this again tomorrow. Catch us tomorrow, guys.
I'll see you then.
All right. All right,
All
let's
right.
peace. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.